I'm here. Just give me 1 second. Oh. We'll be starting in a few, I was going to say minutes, but really seconds. Hello. All righty. I'm going to give everybody some time to get here. I know yesterday I started, I start at 8 and then people are telling me, they're just getting on a little after. So, but today I was late myself. I started watching something that's controversial on Amazon Prime, and I got caught up for a minute there. Like, what time is it? Oh my God. Meanwhile, all day, all I'm thinking about and all I'm working on and perfecting and fixing is what I'm doing today with you guys right now. So anyway, let's jump into it. Welcome to day 4 of your Ancestors Speak. Let me do that again. Welcome to day 4 of your Ancestors Speak. Hey there, everybody. Okay. So today's focus is on past experiences, releasing, cleansing, and purging. It's probably one of the primary things I focus on in my workshops. However, very quickly, I want to give a self-intro. My name is Amina Hextall. I am the CEO of STEAM Holistic Arts. I am also a dancing intuit, like as I like to call myself, meaning that I use dance to activate the intuition and also use the intuition to activate movement. So, and for those that don't know, STEAM is soul transforming energy and movement, which is pretty much basically tells it all about the technique that I use. All right. So let's get to this raffle drawing first. Last night, the self-work was to answer a question. How do you feel your closest ancestor or ancestors send you signs that they're around? And that pretty much all you had to do was say, what signs you got and things like that. As I've been telling everybody, with the self-work, there's no right or wrong answers. The raffle is just straight up done blindly. So let's do the raffle now. I saw many different ways. It was really interesting reading some of you guys' signs that you get. Many of you get visions and dreams. For myself, I find that my ancestors like to get my attention with sending animal spirit guides. So I'll get butterflies in my face randomly out of nowhere. And I'm like, oh my God, why is this butterfly? Or just one that's obviously a different color from the others floating around. Birds. I've had so many situations with birds and to get my attention. And also synchronicities, numbers, repeat, seeing the same number repetitively, and I get visions. And but we'll get into all of that. So anyway, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 people. 4 people in the raffle drawing today. Yes. Yeah, birds, butterflies, birds and butterflies a lot. Now, I've always heard butterflies though for ancestors. Process, so that's similar to transitioning, you know, that they would use butterflies. So the people I have for the raffle, now tell me if you did the self work and I didn't see it. I tell y'all, if y'all do anything after 7 o'clock, like registering, signing up as VIP, I probably am not going to see it in time. So if you did the self work and I don't say your name, just write in the comments, I did it. All right. I have a Fua, Dominique, Lay, and Sunshine as the 4 people who did the self work. Now I'm thinking. Okay. Anyone else did it? Put it in the chat. If you did the one about the ancestors. Where is my pen? Let me get a pen. All right. Afua, Lay, and okay. I should already have the raffle tickets like ready and waiting, but okay. Let's go. Okay, the one left in my hand is the winner. Afua. So Afua, you won this raffle drawing. Let me make a note of that. The prize was you will get a 3-card hand mudra and mantra reading that will show exactly where to focus health-wise, including your mental focus at this time. It'll be sent as an audio recording and you will get photos of the card sent to you through Messenger. So congratulations, Afua. Okay. So don't give up. Every day there's an opportunity to win something. As I said, I'm not choosing by right or wrong answers. It's simply through a raffle and you always have a chance. So tonight's self-work, I'm going to give you I always tell you in advance that you have some time to think about it. Tonight's self-work is, did you uncover something from your past that's causing a challenge in your life now? And how does it feel to be letting the energy go? You'll understand what that question means when we get to the end of today's session. The prize is 50% off a video recorded personal reading. So the regular price for a video recorded reading is $80. You would get a 50% off coupon, which would get you a $40, get you a reading, and you would only pay $40. It would expire August 31st. So if you win that prize, if you answer that self-work question tonight or tomorrow before 7 p.m., you could be in the runnings to win that prize. Now, let's get into it. All right. So today I wanted to focus on past stuff that could trigger you now. And this stems from ancestral lineage as well. Sometimes there's things that are causing challenges in our lives and we don't realize that it's something that is just attached to you due to generational, I don't like to say the term generational curses like people use, but due to generational, I guess, baggage. Things that for generations, people in your family did not work out. So for example, what that could be is maybe you come from a long line of people who settled. Oh, I'm not happy in this relationship, but I'm gonna stay in it. and it trickles on down. Everybody does it. Or you come from a long line of people who relationships just could not stay together. They just never can commit. Or you come from a long line of people who have substance abuse issues, and there's always somebody with a substance abuse issue. So these are things that carry over generationally as well. Now, what I like to do when it comes to dealing with triggers like this is intuitive therapy and and guided visualization. These are the tools I use when I'm helping people to release and let go of this baggage from, could be past lifetimes, ancestral lineage, or even your current lifetime. Okay, and we'll get to lifetimes as well. I'm trying to glaze through everything quickly that I would go way more in depth in a program, but these are the free workshops, so I gotta just throw it out there. So if it seems like I'm saying a lot and you don't know what's going on, you could just throw a question in there like, hey, wait, I don't understand this. Okay, so first I wanted to talk about how a lot of triggers, things that trigger you, and I know people hate using the term trigger now, but it's very relevant. And I think people get excited when they can find a title for things they've been experiencing. So it's not so much that it's like, oh, everybody's saying manifest, everyone's saying trigger, everyone's saying toxic. I just think that everybody has come to a point where you find a term that fits. Something triggers me and then I react. So a lot of your triggers, and STEAM is built to uncover these things. Like the probably first of working with me in my signature program, we are going deep into past experiences and traumas, releasing them, trying to find forgiveness, if not for others, but for ourselves. It's just a whole process of digging up stuff and finally getting rid of it instead of keeping it buried. Because that's one of the things I discovered, especially for women, is that when we have challenges in our lives or things we don't want to deal with, we tend to suppress. And when you suppress, you're pushing it down, you're pushing it down, you're pushing it down, and then it starts to build up. And I feel like it sits in the womb area. And then you have issues with your womb, you have issues with your lower back, you have issues with reproduction and things like that, with menstrual cycles and everything. And that's because we hold a lot of our emotions and experiences in here, in that root chakra area and sacral chakra. And what that does is it disconnects you from the planet, disconnects you from source, cuts you off from yourself and your heart center, because if your root is cut off, how's anything else growing? So, and the sacral chakra is what allows you to be intimate, to be authentic, to be fearlessly standing in your authentic truth. So when those are shut down, it kind of can put someone in a state of depression or just feeling blah, like lost, like life is purposeless. Okay. So one of the things I want to go through three things here that you can look for as signs that you need to do some clearing. So for one, parents, and this is the disclaimer for parents. Everybody's parents have done the best that they could. And that's not to say if you were getting abused in any way that was the best they could do. That's not to make any excuse like that's the best they could do if you were getting any type of abuse. But where they were making an effort, that was them really making an effort. And so I'm not here to bash parenting, but many of your current challenges, you will find that they stem from how you were raised. Many of your triggers, you will find they're going to stem from some aspect of your childhood. So, for example, people who have issues with abandonment, you always feel like whoever you're with is not going to stay. A lot of times you could look back and remember a time in your childhood where you felt abandoned. If you are constantly feeling like, I'm not good enough, they're going to reject me, they'll find someone better, you can usually go back to your childhood or your youth and find a moment where you were rejected, where you felt like you weren't good enough. If you constantly find yourself pessimistic, I'm gonna try to do this, but it most likely ain't gonna work. You can look back and find times in your life where you were always disappointed, you felt like you were not achieving or accomplishing your goals, and so you carry that. And a lot of times we don't think that. A lot of times people, I talk to a lot of my clients, and if you're one of them, don't take it personally, but I'm just saying, I've talked to many different clients who will stress to me that they are not affected by things that happened to them in their childhood. Yet they can vividly explain and express moments where they felt embarrassed, where they felt rejected, abandoned, neglected, even demeaned in some ways. And I know that especially light workers, we tend to try to see the light in everyone. And that's a gift that we have, but it's also a curse, because when you see the light in everybody, you tend to glaze over the dark. And the objective of the light worker is to go into the dark and bring light into the dark. But if you're refusing to see the dark, then how can you bring light there? And so at times we don't want to say like, well, yeah, my mother could have did better here, or my father could have did this better. We tend to go, oh, well, this happened, but I'm still here and I made it and I'm still good and I'm great. And you really have to stop and take a look. So I one of my things that I like to do initially is look at your upbringing. That's the first thing. How were you raised? Were you raised by your parents? Were you raised by both of them? Were they in top shape to raise you? Were they going through anything? Because all of that has had an effect on you, whether you realize it or not. For example, my father was an alcoholic, a drug addict, all the above, and then became an absentee later on. But when he was present, once he got cleaned up, is when I started to feel the real shift. And your parents mean well, but he would constantly make comments, and even to this day, sorry, Dad, even to this day, will make comments of, you ever meet someone who they're giving you a compliment, but they're tearing you down with the compliment? Someone who will say, this is an example. This isn't something he said to me, but for example, if you have a friend who'll come to you and say, wow, I always thought that you were gonna be like some big time corporate America person making millions. But what you're doing is all right. What you're doing, is good. So it's like they're saying, you're good, but you're not as good as I thought you were going to be. And those are the type of compliments that he was good for. Like, I always thought that you were going to be this, but you did this. So I guess that's good. So I grew up with a complex of not good enough, and that from that complex, it grew into a rejection complex where I felt like I'm not good enough in relationships, not good enough. Okay, this person probably gonna have another person. That's fine because I'm probably not enough for what they need. I'm busy, I'm dancing, I'm doing my dream and whatever if they got somebody else. And I would make every excuse in the book. Okay, he wants to be with that person too. Make an excuse for it. But because I had gotten to the point where I had accepted, I'm good, but I'm not great. And that carried into adulthood, where I started to find myself doing it in work, where I was the over worker, overachiever, because no matter what I did, it wasn't good enough to me. Oh, you got this award, but this person got that. I need that honor. You got that, but I want this. I got that, but it's not good enough because, and it was, and that's something I constantly battle with, being able to stop and say, you did that. Rather than you did that, okay, what's next? And that comes from childhood of not good enough. All right. And then I used to find myself triggered by, and I still do with this, the underdog, because I always felt like I had to stand up for myself or stand up for people who didn't have anybody to stand up for them. And that was because I come from a mother who's very soft, unless provoked. Unless provoked. I'm not going to say like, unless provoked, but she's overall calm, nurturing, peaceful energy. And because of that, I always felt like I had to be the aggressive. I have to be the fighter. Growing up in the streets of New York, in the hood, going to school in Manhattan with different boroughs coming together, I always felt like I had to be on guard. And you know, it carried over where I felt like I was very, very overprotective of my firstborn and sheltering because I felt like she needed that extra mothering that I guess I didn't have that feel that protection. And just look at some of the things that you do, and even if you're not a parent, some of the ways you are in friendships and relationships. And if you look back, you will find where it stemmed from. There's a root to everything. So that's one thing. Experiences with your parents can leak into your relationships and into your overall self-esteem. So you have to really take an honest look and be honest with yourself about where there may have been experiences with them or without them. Maybe they weren't present, that could still be sitting within your vibration and your energy. Now, experiences you might have socially. These also affect your confidence. And you have to start to see them as opportunities to grow rather than failures in working with people or collaborating. When I say experiences socially, that could be friendships, friends that you outgrew or they outgrew you or whatever the case may be, or y'all just had a falling out. That can change you, or just an experience randomly. You could have many of those growing up in the city. An experience where, for example, I remember having an experience on a subway train that I could say had a traumatic effect on me, to the point where I was like on edge on trains with certain coming from certain neighborhoods. I was well, I don't want to scare anybody from going to New York City, but one time I was on the subway train, and I got on a train in Harlem, the last stop of the 3 train. It's not a good neighborhood, I'll tell you that. But I had been going there frequently because I was dating somebody there. And I got on the train, and you're used to, it's sad, but in New York, you get numb to mental disorders. And that's a horrible thing. There's so many people that could use help with mental issues. But, in big cities, we become numb to it. Like, oh, another crazy person. This guy gets on and he's cursing up a storm. And I'm already kind of like, oh God, here we go. And he's cursing, he's talking about, he must have lost his job, because that's what he's talking about, cursing about his job. And when I finally take my head up I think I was looking at a book. This is how long ago it was. I had a book. And I remember looking up and looking at him and then noticing he's holding a Bowie knife. Now, if you're not familiar with a Bowie knife, the blade could be almost as long as your arm. And he's just sitting there holding on his lap, cursing and going off. And when I saw it, I said, oh, okay, let me get up. So I get up and I try to get through the car. Don't you know this man is following me with his knife out? And it's early in the morning because I slept over. So I'm like, nobody's in the cars. And the train starts going, and I'm going through, and I'm walking through, and I keep looking back, and he's coming. And I'm like, oh my God, are y'all kidding? Like, this train ain't gonna stop for a minute. I finally get to a car where there's some young people, some teenagers. I never forget them. And the door, if you know the subway trains, the center car of the new trains is the conductor's booth, and you can't walk through. So I'm like jigging it. I can't get through. I look at these kids, and they're looking at like, the hell's her problem? I squeezed in next to them, and I was like, this guy's chasing me. He has a knife. And they look, and he looks. He's at the subway door looking through. And when he sees all of the guy, because there was some young boys there too, when he sees them look, he went back. And I was like, oh my God, these young these young boys don't know they just saved my life. And when we got to the next stop, I jumped off, but that was a traumatic moment, and it stayed with me. It stayed with me. I would get on the train and I would be on guard after that. Now anybody's looking weird or saying anything crazy, I'm already ready. And these are experiences socially that we push away, like, okay, that happened, and don't realize when little triggers make it resurface. So you have to watch those as well. That was a different type of traumatic experience socially. But, those are experiences that can make you, I don't want to go out no more. I don't want to be around certain people. I don't want to, I'm not going to get on subway trains anymore. So we have to watch how our experiences do affect us in moving forward in life, in manifesting, in doing anything. And the most overlooked of them all is past lifetimes. Now, if you don't believe that you have been here before, then this will be irrelevant to you. So you could just ignore this part. But if you do understand the ability for the spirit to come back through and even believe in multi-dimensions and all that stuff, then you can understand that there is a possibility that you've been here many, many times before. Because this is simply a shell, It's a shell with a soul. And when that soul leaves the shell, it can enter another physical form. So your past lifetimes can affect you and cause you to have karmic baggage. Clues that your past lifetimes are affecting you now: you might have visions. That's one of the ways I first discovered it. Maybe one day you could be chilling, not even thinking about nothing, and something to just attract your attention out of nowhere. Maybe, say for example, you randomly start seeing things on TV about Egypt, ancient Egypt, and now you just feel drawn to it. Like, I want to know more about this, and things like that. Or you find yourself just having a vision of yourself there, or in some ancient time, or a situation that you was never in. Like, yeah, I remember being physically assaulted, or burned, but that never happened to me. That's a sign. Having weird dreams where you feel like I was in a different lifetime, a different body, or a different person. Memories that make no sense. Like, you feel like, I remember something happened to me, this happening, but it never really happened to me. For example, I remember growing up in India, but I didn't grow up in India. I've never been to India. Something like that, when you have memories of things that you did not experience in this lifetime. And lastly, when you have fears that have no connection to this lifetime. For example, you have a fear of fire and you have no idea why. Maybe you were burnt previously in another lifetime. You are strangely, you don't like oceans. You don't like to be on boats. Maybe you drowned in another lifetime, but you're unaware. So past lifetime readings are helpful when you are struggling with finding out why you're having certain visions, certain thoughts, certain feelings, why do you feel drawn to certain cultures and time periods. But yeah, they can also affect you in this lifetime. That's why you run into certain people that you're like, why are me and these people drawn together? Past lifetime stuff. Why do I feel a connection to this person? I just met them. Be something from another lifetime. So what I want to do today, I was going to get up and do this through movement. However, my cycle decided to start. So I ain't too keen on moving. But there is a steam while seated version of it. So I'm going to do the steam while seated version of what we call the cord cutting. And what that is a series of breathing and visualizing where you are going to begin a process of cutting off anything that does not serve a purpose in your life going forward. So that could be any memories of trauma. We're gonna take a look at them and let them go. Any feelings, that you might have gotten from certain experiences. We're going to let those go, and just start to soothe your inner child, because the inner child is what is that little voice inside, like they call the conditioned self. The conditioned self is that inner child that feels how it feels based off of its experiences. So, for example, maybe you went through some horrible breakups and heartache. Now you feel like you've grown up, you will do things differently. But every time you get ready to have another opportunity to get into a relationship, there's something in the back of your mind that's like, remember that last time? That didn't go too well. We want to do this again? That's that inner child that was wounded. That conditioned voice that's conditioned based off of that last experience to believe it's going to be that way again. And even if you convince your inner child, like, no, 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 we're going to try, it's always in the back of your mind that this most likely ain't going to work, though, because the last few times it didn't work. And what the problem is that that wound has not been properly healed. So even if you're in denial that it exists and you're like, no, we're going to still push through, it's going to open back up as soon as you're triggered. All that person has to do is something that reminds your inner child of the previous situation, and you're going to run away. Or you're going to do something to cause things to sever. So let's soothe our inner child. That's what we're going to do today, is soothe the inner child and bring a little beginning to a little 5 minutes of peace to your inner child, so that you can start to open up to releasing and letting go. Okay? So let's get into that. Let me see what I want to do real quick. Let me use my quartz crystal. Sorry, I dropped it. Okay. Alrighty. So you're not going to close your eyes just yet. I want you to, if you remember the steam routine, what we did where we gathered up the energy and then released. We're going to do, why is this on the floor? We're going to do these same similar hand moves. So the first one is going to take you up, but to the heart center. When you get to the heart, you're going to push forward and clear. You're going to repeat that twice. Up to the heart, push forward and clear. You're going to take your right hand. And what this is like a gathering. So what you're doing is you're gathering up any energy that feels stuck there and pulling it away. Just sending it away. I mean, you can't see my whole arm, but just sending it away. And you're going to do the same thing on the other side and away. And then we're going to repeat one more time. Same thing. And then I will tell you to close your eyes. When I say close your eyes, you're going to put your hands either on your lap, open to receive, or supported over the heart. Okay? So let's get started. I want to use a specific music song. I'm really scared they're going to flag me, but man, I don't care. I'm just hoping they don't kick me off, because sometimes they'll do that if they pick up that you're using music that is not your own. They can try to stop your live. All right, let me see. But I'll get a warning. So if they warn me, then we just turn it off. Okay, let me get to the music. Oh, it's right there waiting for me. Okay, so follow me. Just taking a deep breath. Exhale. And the way. And what you're doing is releasing anything that feels like it's been sitting in your heart, heavy in your heart. Let it go. Other way. Let it go. Repeat. Gather up any pain, any feelings of abandonment, of rejection that you may hold in your heart, and let it go. You don't want it anymore. Don't let it sit in your energy anymore. One more time in. And send it away. Even if it's a person or a mindset, let it go. Heart, gather up any pain, any weight, any heaviness, and release it. Let it go. Let God handle it. Other side, if there's anybody who has hurt you and they're sitting in your heart, that pain, let it go. Let them go and take back your power. They cannot control how you feel. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your mouth. Exhale. Every time you exhale, I want you to release feelings of loss, of grief, feelings of disappointment, of unworthiness. And in your mind's eye, as you breathe in and you breathe out, I want you to let yourself travel back to a significant moment in your life where you felt rejected, abandoned, disappointed maybe, unworthy, ashamed, guilty. See yourself in this moment, and if you can't find a specific moment, see yourself in the energy, in the feeling. See yourself in this moment or in this feeling, and allow yourself to feel it and breathe into this feeling and exhale out this feeling. And if it hurts, let it hurt. Remember to breathe and allow the feeling or emotions to play out, to come out. So they made you feel unworthy. So they made you feel not good enough. So you felt abandoned. yourself feeling these feelings, experiencing this experience. See yourself now. And I want you to step into your vision and wrap your arms around this inner child, this past version of yourself. Breathe and let your inner child know it's okay now. We won't go through that again because we are not the same person we were before. We're taking back our power. And the first step is to love who you were and who you are. Because who you were is why you are who you are. Love on this inner child. Don't see it as a weakness. See it as your strength. Because if not for that experience and that you that went through it, you would not be the resilient light you are today. And as you hold yourself, take a deep breath in through your mouth, taking in some light and love from your ancestors and from above, from the divine. Just fill yourself up with light and love of God. Exhale and let go of any feelings of sorrow, of grief, of disappointment. Let that go. We are ready to release and move forward. Take another deep breath in through your mouth. And exhale and let go. Just feel yourself lightening up. Feel your heart center opening up and just letting out anything that no longer serves a purpose. Take another deep breath in through your mouth. Letting in light and love. See yourself glowing and holding on to your inner child. Exhale and just feel yourself healing the wounds of that specific experience. Take another deep breath in through your mouth. Exhale and relax. You are safe. You are supported. You are covered. You are light. And you are here with a purpose. You are worthy. You have value and you are enough. You are worthy. You have value and you are enough. Affirm under this new moon energy, I am worthy. I have great value. And I am enough. And as you slowly return to the space that you're in, give thanks to your ancestors, give thanks to God for assisting you along your healing journey. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's take one more deep breath in through your mouth. And as you exhale, start to move your feet, rub the tops of your legs. Slowly open your eyes and give yourself a tight squeeze, some love. Whew. Okay, glad I didn't put any eyeliner on today. So, I'm hoping that you are able to come back to this video whenever you feel like you need to let go of something. Um, that is like a little snippet of a cord cutting, but that's a cord cutting that I use to initially get you started with the clearing and the releasing. Because the first thing you have to do is acknowledge the wounds. And so we do some deep, deep inner child work and shadow work before we are able to delve into everything, especially certification with my signature program. I really don't certify people that don't go through the healing. I honestly don't understand how someone can call themselves a healer and they have not gone through a healing journey or process of their own. So my programs, we start off there. And I really hope that that helped you guys in some way to tap in and really see where you may have some work to do. And to me, that's great because that's clarity that gives you direction. Like, okay, that is something that I still need to clear out my vibration. And I can meditate, I can visualize, I can affirm, and I can start to get a momentum going to move this energy. All right. So with that said, whoo, because I got really emotional. I don't know why. And I've done these many times in different situations. More intense than that. Y'all should see when it's the full dance and you're standing. You'll really be like, oh my God. But so anyway, let me keep it moving. Now, if you have registered, there is a code word that you can put into the chat, the comments. When you put the code word in the comments, you will get 3 cards pulled for you from the Steam Oracle deck. Now, what the Steam Oracle deck is, it's my homemade deck. Yeah, it's homemade. It's my homemade deck that tells you what you may be going through at this time, at the present, what could help you with that, and then gives you a message from one of your guides. All right, got you, Sandy. So let's start first with, where's your, let's see, what are you feeling today? Okay. So there is all right, so your ancestors are saying your energy feels a little off right now. And you might want to watch your weight. I don't know, they're saying like you might be losing a lot of weight, maybe feeling depressed or gaining a lot of weight by inactivity. So they want you to watch that. Now, what they feel you can do, hold on, all right, just pull one out for you. All right, so their advice to you is to watch your posture. Don't overexert your muscles, your joints, or your nerves. If you feel depressed, seek some kind of relief. They're saying you're lacking sleep, you're overworking, overthinking, and watch for blocks in the crown, the sacral chakra, and or the root chakra. Okay. What they are suggesting is you get some kind of steam routine going. 40 minutes of steam 2 times a week to return to joy and physical wellness to your body. To return joy and physical wellness to your body. Steam is like my weekly sessions. Some of these cards are going to mention my stuff as a remedy, just so you know. So a steam session would be like getting a guided visualization, a reading, and some kind of movement. They're saying once a week. And then a side message. Wow. Okay. Well, that flew out. Beyond dreams. So it's like they're saying something's coming in that may be beyond your dreams. Understanding yourself, your story. You are sunshine, so shine and be thankful. All right. There's something about your story that they're saying they want you to use. Understand your story, understand the things you've gone through, and use that to be a light in other people's lives. But there's things that are going to occur for you that are beyond what you're dreaming. I knew it was going to show backwards. That's why I wasn't going to show them. But yeah, there's things that are going to occur that are beyond what you're dreaming. So by you overthinking, thinking, they're like, it's pointless. It's just going to make you lose sleep and things like that. Find something that you could do physically that takes your mind off of the things that you stress. But yeah, there's something about your experiences that they're saying will be useful to you. Okay, that's the only person I see with the code word. If you're here live and you're registered, you should have checked your emails. Y'all need to be checking your emails every day. If you come on and you give the code word before the live is finished, then I'll pull the cards for you. Okay, and they're not all going to be the same code word, just so you know. All right, good. You got it? All right. So now, before I get to I have a quick general pick-a-pow reading that I'm doing. This pick-a-pow reading is all about what you need to release to heal and how you're being assisted. It's one of the first readings I do when you sign up for my signature program. But this is like a quickie version of it, but we really go deep with trying to see what you need to work on, what you've already been working on, and how we're going to move forward. Okay. So you are intuitively guided through your whole session. Now, your whole workshop series is sort of personalized in that way. So, I wanted to talk a little bit about the energy shift, which is the signature program, but I think I'd rather talk about it a little bit more tomorrow. Anybody that was interested though in booking a personal reading, you can do that. Just inbox me and I'll let you know how. And if you weren't aware of the cost, then you can let me know. And I'll give you the cost and the prices. However, you might want to wait because it's a chance you could win a raffle, get a discount, you could win a free one, so, you should just wait probably to the end of the series. And for those that don't know, we are going to have 2 bonus days that only those who registered are going to know about, because you're going to get the email telling you where the bonus sessions take place. They will not be on YouTube and they won't be on Facebook. They will be on Zoom. So if you don't have the Zoom link, you will not be able to join in. And the 2 bonus days are going to be dope. One is a STEAM session. So Sandy, where your card said you should have weekly STEAM, that's funny because I think on the 20th is a STEAM session for one of the bonus days. Oh, shoot. So you actually get to have one. It's a group class version of it, but it's still STEAM, what a STEAM session would be like. I used to call it STEAM Weekly when I would do it for groups. And you also are going to have a private session for a forecast for the week ahead that only registered people will be getting. So if you didn't register, the link to register is in the description. You can still register and get on the email list. All right. So moving on, let's go to this pick-a-pow. There are 3 pals. Now, I'm debating if I'm going to I don't think I'm going to turn it around. Let me keep it like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the pals over. Now, each pal also has a fortune cookie, which is something cute I've been doing lately. If I have some Chinese food and I get a fortune cookie, if a fortune cookie comes with my Chinese food, I gather them until I have at least 3 or 4, and then I put them into a reading. So you guys lucked out. I actually must have gotten Chinese food a few times in the last week. And so I have 3 fortune cookies and I'm using them for each pal. Okay. So I got pal 1, pal 2, pal 3. Now I have not shuffled some of the cards yet. I have a homemade deck that's called Soothe Your Inner Child Oracle Cards. And I really want to make these into a real deck, but right now it's my homemade paper deck. But I really think it's a helpful deck. This deck is so accurate. It lets you know exactly where you need to do some inner child healing and where you've already been doing the work. So I'm shuffling this deck live for each pile because I didn't want people thinking I premeditated and stuck what I wanted into the piles. And then you'll be choosing your pile by a card from the Sacred Travelers Oracle deck. And that card will be your advice. Okay? It's going to be an advice card for you, but I'm not going to explain it till the end. So I will show you card number 1, card number 2, card number 3, and that's how you would choose your pal. Okay, pal 1. Ascending the mountain. Ascending the mountain. So if you feel drawn to this card, then your message is in pile 1. Pile number 2. Okay. You have answering the call. So if you feel drawn to answering the call, then your message is in pile 2. And pile 3, Wondrous Universe. If you feel drawn to Wondrous Universe, then your message is in pile 3. Okay? If you feel unsure, take a deep breath in. Exhale. And go with whatever is the first thing that comes to your mind. I'm starting with pile number 1, of course. So pile number 1, you have ascending the mountain. Let's check out your fortune cookie. And your fortune says the sight of your beauty is worth beholding. Wow. So if you are having any doubts about your looks or feeling self-conscious about your appearance in any way, my ones, don't doubt you're looking good, okay? Because Spirit is coming through to let you know when people see you, just seeing you, your outward beauty. And a lot of times people try to downplay it, like you need to be beautiful on the inside. Yeah, that too. But when you have outward beauty, that's a genuine beauty, a sight to behold. It's usually because it's radiating from within. So that's just something they want you to know about yourself. Don't let anybody make you feel like you're not a looker, because your beauty is one to behold, is worth beholding. Now let's see what triggers you've been working on and what you need to work on. These cards do not shuffle well, so I'm better off just not looking and randomly pulling. I'm going to take 2 cards. All right, you got a black and a blue. Black cards are where you still need to do some work. Blue are what you've been working on. So pile 1s, you have projecting as an issue that you're still a challenge for you at this time. Do my fears for others stem from my own past mistakes? So do you project? Ask yourself this, my pile 1s. Do you, because of things you've gone through, put that onto other people? And this could even be done with parents, where you had a rough and tough life, so you project it onto your kids. Don't do that, because when I did it, it didn't go well. And that's something that you're going to have to work through, projecting onto other people based off of your experiences. You can even do it to friends. Oh, you probably going to fail doing that because hey, I couldn't do it. I struggled. Don't project. Start working on it. Now, something you have worked on or you're currently working on is envy. Realizing I am great in my own way These cards are written in like shiny lettering, so you might not be able to see them all, but I'm reading them, so I know why I'm showing it to y'all. So you may have had an issue where you would compare yourself to other people, and that's something you're currently working through, or you've already gotten over, no longer dealing with that. The rest of your pile, we have Ask Yourself This card, which also is a homemade deck of mine. It asks you to ask yourself certain questions. And this pile says, what 3 things can help me reach my goals at this time? Am I on the right path? So Spirit is telling you to sit for a minute, my power ones, and really stop and think about 3 things that you can do that can help you reach your goal. And if you can think of 3 things that you can do, then it pretty much means you're on the right path. But when you struggle to think of 3 things you can do to get towards your goal, then you may need to get some kind of intuitive guidance, because maybe you're lacking clarity or direction in the moment. Or you need to get some chakra clearing because maybe there's a block somewhere. Okay, so ask yourself, are you on the right path? All right. What do you need to surrender at this time? Surrender fear. So fear is one of the things holding you back at this time in your life. Let go of the fearful stories you are telling yourself, and that can cause people to project. Stay in the moment, focus on solutions, and celebrate every baby step forward. So don't let the things that you've gone through cause you to be fearful about things moving forward. And surrender to rest and sleep, my power ones. You must not be getting enough rest. To prevent burnout, slow down, honor your need for quiet time and peaceful sleep to rejuvenate your mind, body, and spirit. My power ones, it's time for you to surrender to rest and sleep. Just because you're resting and you're sleeping, it does not mean that you're not working hard, or you haven't worked hard, or you're going to miss out on some opportunity. If you don't rest and sleep, you're going to miss out on an opportunity, because things can come in and you just won't have the energy to deal with them. All right. Because you didn't rest and sleep. So some things they want you to know that may help you with these things is that you are a seeker of truth. They want you to know you can feel the hidden truth behind your circumstances. So you're someone who at this time, they're saying you're on the right path. You are seeking the truth. You're seeking some kind of healing. You realize that there are some things in your life that you need to understand more clearly so that you can move forward. And you have resolve. This is a period of indecision and inner conflict, and it is time to make a decision. So maybe you have been seeking the truth in something, because it's time for you to make a choice about what you're going to do about something. And so your ancestors are letting you know that at this time, it's time for you to just make a choice about something that maybe has been causing you to feel like you can't see the way forward, or you don't feel like you're moving forward. It's time to make a choice about something. And maybe finding the truth behind the circumstance can help you make a better choice. But your card of advice says to keep going forward. So keep climbing this mountain. Maybe you feel like it's been a rough road and you can't see the other side of the mountain. And you've been over some rough patches of mountains. So maybe that has you a little fearful of what's over the other side of this one. But your ancestors are advising you to keep moving forward. You're moving in the right direction. And every experience you've had has gotten you to where you are right now, right here today in this session. So you're on the right path. Keep doing the work. All right. My pile twos. You were drawn to answering the call. Ooh, that one got a little flash of spirit. I'll take that powder. No. Let me see what your fortune cookie says. Okay, my pal twos. There may be some aspects of things you're doing or blessings coming in that you might want to keep under wraps. That just came to me because your fortune cookie was very difficult to get open. Like I couldn't get the plastic open. Then it didn't want to crack. So it's almost, and look, the fortune is struggling to come out. So I'm just getting the energy that there's some things coming in that you need to, fortune, blessings coming in that you might have to just celebrate, like with people you really trust. Don't go announcing on social media. It feels like things coming in that until you have gotten like you fully stepped into it, don't announce it. And for some of the things I'm hearing, don't announce at all. It'll surface, but don't let it come from you, because I do feel envy around my pal twos. All right, people envying you. All right, you have as a fortune listening, not listening, not imitation, may be the sincerest form of flattery. Yes. So when people, and that's funny because I've been having issues with imitation lately. And people are always like, oh, it's flattering, but it's not really flattering when someone imitates you. All that says is they're lazy and they didn't want to come up with something themselves, so they just let you do the work and be creative. So this fortune here, I love it because really listening is flattering. To really have somebody's ear, to really have someone listen to you. And I do feel like for my pal twos, that's what's coming in for you. Maybe you communicate as a line of work. Maybe you just have people in your life that you have some things you need to say to them. At this time, you're gonna find that by you listening, you will have the same energy returned to you. So I do feel communication is going to be something big, a big part of the blessings that are coming in your way. Maybe you have long overdue talks that need to happen. Maybe things you say are going to influence that certain things to happen or inspire certain things. But just know that it's something big with people listening. Okay, listening is a big key. All right, so let's see what shadow work you need to do or have been doing with your inner child. Let me not look, I'm just going to pull. So you got 2 black. That means there are 2 things that you need to work through. That's not to say you're not working through anything currently, because what that could mean is that you've there are things you've already completed, and these are 2 things that you haven't even started. So my pal twos, you have envy as something. So pal 1 is working through it. Pal 2, you need to work on envy. Not only do people envy you, but that's probably because you're envious of people at times. It says comparing myself to others can cause insecurity, so why do I do it? And I could vouch for it. I know exactly. Social media causes a lot of envy. Okay. So that's something they want you to start to notice about yourself, that things trigger you and cause you to envy and compare yourself. You also have regrets. Begin to see why something didn't happen. So my pal twos, there is a need for you to really start to understand that certain things just happen because that's the way they had to be in order for you to learn what you had to learn and be where you are today. So that is something you do have to work through, is feeling regret. Now, what you need to ask yourself this: am I a healer? Do I have a message to share? This really is my pal. Do I have special gifts that are meant to help others? So if you've been questioning that about yourself, they're telling you, yeah, really ask yourself, because there's a possibility that you are meant to share in some way. Look, you got a fortune that talked about listening and people listening to you as flattery. And perhaps you are meant to communicate or speak up for a certain community of people. You're meant to help people in some kind of way. So really think about what gifts you have that possibly could be used for that. What do you need to surrender at this time? All right, surrender to non-action. Maybe you're doing too much. Now is the time to be still and not act. Simply breathe and focus on your own power. Let others come to you. So you have no need to chase at this time, no need to force anything, no need to push extra hard when it comes to your work. Just relax meditate, visualize, and let everything be a magnet to you, because that's what vibration is about. That's what manifesting is about. It's matching a vibration. It's being a magnet, to something that you want. And surrender your ego. Cultivate gratitude, be of service to others, and come from your heart. A big ego can work against you, but humility will further your goals. So don't think you're so big, or at any time ever feel like you're too good to give of yourself, to be of service, to just open up your heart and give from your heart. You don't always have to get any recognition. That's what I'm hearing. Just doing things without looking or expecting some kind of recognition will help you get closer to your goals. And ancestors want you to know that, universal flow. It is time for you to slow down. Why are all these pals, none of y'all resting and relaxing? It's time for you to slow down, breathe, and take time to smell the roses. So my pal twos, you're the overworkers. Pal one felt like overthinkers. You're overworking. They're saying surrender to non-action, and then they're telling you to slow down and take time to breathe. Stop pushing so hard and let things flow. You've done the work, is what I'm hearing. You've done enough. Authentic self-expression. Be true to who you really are, and your life will change in the most amazing ways, my pal too. So as long as you are standing in your authentic truth and doing and living as you truly believe, everything else will fall into place. And your card of advice, the time is now. So whatever you feel called to, just do it. Everything is falling into place. Everything is coming in that you want. There's no need to push or force anything. Just do what you feel good doing, and everything else is just going to fall into alignment. The time is now for you. And that's what I got for you, my pal twos. Pal three, you were drawn to wondrous universe. So let's open your fortune cookie. Okay, pal threes, I feel one or two things for you with your fortune cookie: scattered energy, or just messy. Maybe you're in a situationship. Maybe you feel like you're doing too many things, relationship, work, all the stuff. It just feels like you were a little all over the place. When I opened your cookies, they were crumbles and crumbs shot all over my clothes. Your fortune says no problem can stand the assault of sustained thinking. So if you I do feel like you are maybe trying to glaze over a problem and not focus on it. And they're saying if you have any problems or any issues or challenges at this time, just it's okay to think about a way to resolve it rather than to just try to ignore it. Okay, let's go to your inner child oracle and see what you need to heal or what has already healed, my threes. I'm going to take this card. So my threes, you got two blacks as well. You need to work on, regrets as well. And wait, no. These are the same two cards from the other pile. You know what? I didn't take them out, and I meant to take them out. But maybe you just need to hear it. Regret and envy is coming up for you as well. But let me redo that, because what are the odds I would shuffle, dig in, and pull the same two from the other pile? But I didn't mean to mix them back in. So I'll do one more. All right, so you got a black and a blue. The black one says unacceptance. You have to work on feeling unaccepted, that life is unfair. Or do you need to realize that you have to let go and let God? So maybe there are things that occur to you that you are unable or unwilling to accept as God's will. And you have to start to realize that some things you cannot control. It's just going to be what it's going to be. All right. What you have been working on, or that you've already dealt with, is playing small. I am no longer holding my, wait, I'm no longer hiding my full power or gifts. So maybe at one point you used to dim your light. You ain't doing that no more. So that's good, my threes. But you need to ask yourself this. Is this a good tower moment happening right now? Are the changes and life shifts all for the best that are happening in your life? They want you to really look at that. That's why you probably have the card of unacceptance. That there are certain things happening in your life right now that are huge changes, huge shifts, and maybe you're seeing them as horrible things, and they want you to realize that some of these things are for the best, that are changing and falling apart in your life. What do you need to surrender? Surrender to setting limits. It's healthy to set boundaries, my pal 3, in relationships. Practice expressing your needs, and remember that no is a complete sentence. All right, so you might have to tell some people, nah, no, not happening. Maybe you need to put up some boundaries, set some standards like of what you're willing to accept and what you're not. And surrender frustration. Frustration doesn't open any doors. That goes right with unacceptance, because that puts you in the energy of frustration. The key to resolving a dilemma or dissolving a block is to take a breath, center yourself, and regroup so you may approach the situation more calmly. Okay? What you need to know at this time, your ancestors are saying mirror. Everything that is happening in your external life is a reflection of your inner world. And I was just talking about being a magnet. So that's very important for you to know, my power threes. Whatever you are feeling or thinking on the inside is what you're going to experience around you. So if you want to change what's being reflected back to you, then change what you are putting out from inside. And you have education. Education is an important part of your soul's development at this time. So your ancestors would like for you to get some kind of education. Maybe you need to learn about how to shift your mindset so that you're being a better vibration to call in what it is you want to call in. And your advice, wondrous universe, walk in beauty. Notice the beautiful things around you. You have the gift to manifest, my pal threes. The things you think of, the things you speak of, you tend to make happen, or you run into those people, or whatever the case may be. You have a gift of manifesting. So maybe you need to get some education to learn how to use it more, but they want you to start to notice the beautiful things around you and the great things that are happening to you and the wonderful people in your life, and just walk in this energy, and that will shift your vibration just from that. But if you fail to notice how vast and beautiful and wondrous this universe is, then you will focus on the dark, and that's where you will stay. So, walk in beauty. That's what I got for y'all today. I'm moving on to my VIPs, but I hope to see you all tomorrow. Same place, same time. Tomorrow's topic is, we will be focusing on rebooting your mindset. Literally what I was just talking about. So if you chose Power 3, don't miss it. It's going to be all about changing your self-talk and what box others try to keep you in. Something that, we don't always notice. That sometimes people are trying to keep you in a certain vibration because they don't want to see you expand. So we're going to be doing some work on that tomorrow. So make sure you are here. You don't miss it. There's still time to be a VIP if you want. I think Friday's the last day to register or to be a VIP. And be here tomorrow. All right. Sending y'all light and love. Let me focus on the VIPs now. The only VIPs I have for tonight are Stacey Ellis and Lay Knight. If anybody else signed up as a VIP or plans to do it right now, you have to put that in the comments. Otherwise, I don't have you on my list. All right. So VIPs tonight, you are getting, because today is a new moon, you're getting a moon card pulled for yourself, as well as 2 tarot cards, which is the 2 that I was going to pull for you anyway. The moon card, The moon card is a bonus gift for being a VIP. Okay. Okay, Stacey Ellis, you're first. This is your Moonology card, which is some advice about how, just some advice about this new moon energy. Something you need to know. You have full moon in Taurus, detoxify. So at this time, this new moon wants you to start a new regime as far as what you're putting into your body and into your mind. Detoxify talks about purging past mindsets, letting go of old bad habits, and relieving your body of foods that may not be good and things like that. Just really cleansing yourself is recommended under this new moon's energy. And your two tarot cards. These are coming from the Grimalkin's Curious Cats Tarot because I'm a cat person, and so I got cat cards. Okay. And it says you have the Ten of Wands, and the Six of Pentacles. So what this talks about is feeling overburdened, feeling overworked, feeling like you're not reaching a certain goal, but doing the mostest to reach it. With Six of Pentacles here, this new moon is gonna bring something into balance. Maybe where you've been giving and overworking or feeling overwhelmed by something, you're gonna start to see the return. Maybe somebody's gonna pay you what you're worth, or pay you what they owe you, or you're gonna stop feeling like you're putting a lot of energy into something and not getting anything back. It looks like things are finally gonna balance out with the energy you exert or what you put into something. You're gonna start to get back what you are owed, what you do. That could be with work, or it could even be with a situation maybe where you feel like you have a big burden, maybe a family burden. It looks like you're going to get some kind of help or money or something that's going to make things balance out. Something you feel like you've invested a lot in. All right. That's the message under this new moon for you. Lay night. Oh, your moon card popped right up. You have last quarter moon in Leo. Lighten up. So what they're telling you to do is maybe focus on the positive. They really want you to lighten up, to have fun. I hear have fun again. Return to fun. Things that were fun, maybe things from your childhood that were fun and enjoyable. Things that take you out of your mind, that get you out of your head and put you into your heart is what's being suggested for you at this time. So really try to find activities, people, and places that make you feel light and fun and not, stuck in your head and things like that. All right. See things in a positive, really lighten up, really think positively, and that will help you a lot at this time with this new moon. All right, and your two tarot cards. You have the King of Wands and the Page of Cups reversed. All right, I don't usually take reversals with this deck, but I will keep it in mind. With the King of Wands coming through, I feel like you are in an energy of really, really being on fire. Like you can reach your goals at this time. You're very passionate about something that you are going after. And it may feel like it's something that you had to work really hard for, but I feel like it's going to be worth it. It's like something that you really, really want, you're very excited about, is coming in. It's really going to light your passion. However, be wary. With Page of Cups coming through in reverse, be careful of people who profess their love or admire you, and it could just be maybe they're enraptured with this energy. King of Wands is a very charismatic, very good-looking, strong, powerful energy of a type person. And when you have the Page of Cups, it's like people want to come forward and tell you what they want to give you opportunities that you'll love, or they want to be the one you love. And it may be like an overwhelming flow of affection and love. But when it comes to reverse, you can't really trust it too much. So be wary of people who make sure you're not somebody who is unclear when it comes to their feelings with love, and make sure there's not someone who is unclear coming towards you, because the Page of Cups reverse just gives me a feeling of feelings of love that might be kind of pie in the sky, not based on reality. Okay, that's what they're telling you need to pay attention to under this new moon energy. And that's who I got on the VIP list. I don't have anybody else. I hope that y'all enjoyed today's session. I'm excited for tomorrow. And I hope y'all all have a wonderful, peaceful rest of your evening or morning whenever you're watching this. Peace, blessings, and all that good stuff that comes from being a part of my tribe. Don't forget to subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Later, y'all.